That's too bad.
Next is from Guled Ahmed, and the subject is Paul Roma, Alex Wright heat. Yo, fellas, I'm watching Wrestling Bio's video about Paul Roma and Alex Wright's match. What were you guys thinking back then, and would this ever fly in today's wrestling? Thanks from Hangsight. Bro, I have no clue what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you guys weren't there yet. It was February of '95.
I don't know. This guy did not reference that in the email. And I'm not gonna.
Here.
We're not gonna do the guy's work for him. Okay. You need to, bro. If you're gonna send an email, something about that, you have to reference it so we know what you're talking about. I have no clue what you're talking about. Next is from Joseph Feeney Jr. Is that your dad, or is that who is that?
This is him, man, and I don't know what he's doing here.
Is your dad?
This is gonna get heat. Yeah.
Oh God.
He's gonna be in danger. He's gonna be in danger after this, I think.
He might get suspended permanently. Subject is Kross. Hey guys, how's it going? Conan, I'm glad you're feeling better on dialysis. Anyway, I haven't written to you for a while. I'm a big Kross fan, but in my opinion, he's not getting over. He gets no pop from the fans, and WWE is burying him with the loss to Mysterio and the quick exit from the Rumble. Your thoughts on how he can turn it around, or even if it's possible for him to turn around? I wouldn't be surprised if they release him again soon. Dude, he just got like the highest rated match of like the past like 5 years. All right, so Joe's dad suspension 1 month. All right,
wow. After Kross took a picture with him and everything, what a dirty dog.
That's so stupid. But what is your dad thinking? Did he not see that like Kross is gay? I don't know. That's just dumb.
I was very surprised to read that. Yeah.
Yeah. Next is from Brian Dunlop. Oh my God, here we go. We're gonna get a booking idea here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Subject is Mark Briscoe versus MJF or Claudio Castagnoli for the World Championship. Hello, Conan Disco. Sometimes I ask myself, what would Vince McMahon do? Specifically, if he were the one in charge of AEW and Ring of Honor like Tony Khan. When Eddie Guerrero died, McMahon was quick to turn the tragedy into an angle and boost Eddie's close friend Rey Mysterio into the world title picture. However, Vince got plenty of criticism for the way the storyline played out, with one instance coming out to mind of Randy Orton telling Mysterio that Eddie's in hell. Quote, tasteless exploitation of death is what Vince critics called it. Mark's real-life brother Jay Briscoe died last month in a car accident. If Tony felt like pushing Mark Briscoe as a singles wrestler as a result of this tragedy, how do you think it should play out, and who should be the proper opponent for Mark? If Khan goes with MJF, imagine it playing out like the Mysterio versus... I'm not even going to read the rest. This is stupid. Brian, this whole angle is like atrocious. All right, they're not going to push Mark Briscoe because his brother died. Okay, like that's.
So I could see that in Ring of Honor.
All right, I'll finish the email then. If Khan goes with MJF, imagine playing out like Mysterio versus Orton with him insulting the deceased to gain heat. This too will be called tasteless and going too far. In past promos, MJF has had no issue with insulting the dead, but if Tony goes with Claudio as Mark's opponent, it could be a program built on respect, culminating in the main event of a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Mark would obviously win the match and become the Ring of Honor World Champion for the first time in his career, and this route would likely be met with a warmer welcome from critics. In 2020, is 2023 the year to make Mark Briscoe World Champion in the singles division of Ring of Honor or AEW? The answer is no. He's only been on AEW TV one time. So I think it's a useless... Well, why would you even think that? This guy's not on TV.
It could be a feel-good thing for that Ring of Honor crowd. And he's been around 20 years since the beginning, you know. I could really actually see them do that with Mark if he's...
For Ring of Honor. Not for AEW. And you can't put that in a regular show. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Cody, what do you think? Anything?
Well, I wasn't thinking of that till he said it, but I do think even in AW, you could get the sympathy factor behind him and people would get with him, and he's a good talker and a good worker, and, you know, you could probably do something. But to me, they don't write good storylines, you know? So,
So Adam DeMoy, our boy that gets me heat with Tony Schiavone, his subject is the Beer Gut Mafia. Disco, this question is for you. The greatest television champion of all time and possibly a better pro wrestling trainer than Stu Hart. Dance floor over dungeon. What do you think about that first sentence, Cody?
Which one?
He just said. He says the questions. Disco, this question is for you. The greatest television champion of all time and possibly a better pro wrestling trainer than Stu Hart. Dance floor over dungeon. What do you think about that?
3 kazoos.
Do you think Hangman Adam Page and Eddie Kingston should form a new faction in AEW called the Beer Gut Mafia? Because obviously these clowns have checked out of taking the athletic progression of pro wrestling seriously. What, does Adam Page have a beer gut?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Doesn't look that way.
P.S. If Billy is really wealthy, he'd be able to get the badge in one of your live chats. The badge is a UK ultra-rich clothing line called Stone Island. All these soccer dweebs that go to Manchester United and Chelsea games wear their clothing. They have an app if you're interested in $5,000 windbreaker jackets. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't. The only English Premier League stuff I own is a Liverpool jersey. Do you own any soccer?
A Chelsea jersey that some Chelsea player gave me, but I forgot his name.
Are you serious?
Back in the 90s, yeah.
A Chelsea player gave you his jersey? When?
Yeah.
When we were in
the
England?
90s. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, because he found out I was a Chelsea fan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Next is from Evan Dearman, and the subject is weed in Mexico. Oh, this is for Conan. Dear K100 guys, gang, I've been listening to you guys for years now, so I think it's time I ask a question. Okay? From the UK, I have a trip to Mexico at the end of the month when my sister will be getting married in Riviera Maya. And although it's an 11-hour flight from Gatwick, we cannot wait. My question is for Conan. Here in England, I spend most of my time in Iran. The weed these days in UK is pretty decent quality, probably not on the level you're used to in California, but definitely on the same level as Amsterdam. My question is, am I going to be able to get a hold of any decent bud on my trip to Mexico? If so, what sort of price should I be paid? An eighth of decent weed here in the UK usually costs around $25. The last time I went to Mexico was in 2005, and the only weed I could find was bushy dirt weed. It was very cheap, and although I did get a big bag for my money, it was very low quality and hardly got me stoned. What's your advice, Conan? I'm relying on you, bro. Hoping to find some high grade there in 2023. P.S. Billy needs to go soon, guys. The guy's a complete. Keep up the great show. That's from Dear Militia from Hitchin in England.
Yeah, I'm not surprised he used the C word, being that he is an English fella. Yes, right, he's coming to Mexico from England.
Right. Conan, do you have any comment?
First of all, you'll love the Riviera Maya. Incredible. And go to this place called Sacaret. Right. It's like this amusement park in the jungle. It's ridiculous. Yeah, there's a lot of great weed in Cancun. And probably it's like $35 for half an ounce or something like that. Let me find out where you need to go in Cancun from my boy Angelico, because he lives near there.
Next is from Michael Kupach, and the subject is meeting fans. Hello, gentlemen. Recently went to the Rumble and met a few wrestlers in the airport the next day. Gunther never looked up from his phone and clearly wanted to be left alone. And to be honest, I wouldn't give him my time of the day either if it was just him. Braun Strowman, on the other hand, was very outgoing and cool to talk to. The show is keeping it 100. I know you guys will give it to me straight. On an average day, if you approach by the average fan, meaning you aren't in a bad mood, it's not an inappropriate situation, and this fan is normal acting, what goes through your head when you see them coming? Do you think in your head, oh, I have to interact with this guy? Or are you somewhat grateful that you have a fan that wants to talk to you and show their appreciation? I've always been curious. I'm not famous or anything, and I get annoyed when people talk to me when I am out and about, but I'm an how do you feel when interacting with fans when you are out and about? P.S. I hope Billy's son grows up to be an incel. Michael Kupach. By the way, we're gonna.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna suspend Michael Kupach.
That's a good-looking kid.
Because
he's the mayor of K100, I think.
Time out. There's one thing I want to make a point on this show. Okay, and we're not going to promote this, right? I'm not going to have anybody make fun of people's wives, girlfriends, or kids. Like, if you have an issue with somebody, you can make fun of them. But like, if you want to go after people's kids or wives or like people that I just don't do that. That's like an everyday rule in life for me. That's like a trolling, tasteless. I'm not. So Michael Kupach, you're suspended for that. But I'm cool with everybody. Like the visual of the fans that have never met me before, that they probably think I'm like this toxic whatever. I'm cool with everybody.
Just listen for how long have we been doing this, Joe? At the end of the show, when he says hugs and kisses are on the table for cute transgenders, I mean, he loves everybody, literally. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Next is from Dale Fortunio. The subject is clear as day. Hello to the most entertaining wrestling podcast out there. I watched an episode of Dynamite and figured out something that is apparently being overlooked. We have the one.
Oh, let me just say this real quick, because the last guy asked a question. I forgot. I do want to answer it. When I was young, I used to be like, oh, I can't believe this guy's bothering me. But now that I'm older, I do appreciate the fans a lot more, and I'm like, cool.
Right. Yeah, because we were hungover a lot when we got Pod Fight.